So I'm really bad at these kind of talking head videos, but I'm going to make it anyway, almost as a public service announcement. I live here in New York in northern Westchester, and we have Optimum as our cable provider. That's our only choice. We don't have Fios. There's no cell service at my house. So basically, if our cable's out, we have nothing. About a week ago, we lost, or let's say 2 weeks ago, we lost cable on a Sunday. It took 8 days to get it back. And the long and the short of this story is that your cable provider, if there's a signal leakage, your cable provider will shut your cable off and not tell you, because that's exactly what happened to us. I don't know if every company does that, but for sure in New York, Optimum will do that. All right, so here's the long version of this story. We lose our internet on a Saturday. Beautiful sunny day, just goes out. About 2 hours later, I get a text message that it's back. All right, good. May have to reset your modem. Okay. I walk over to the modem, and the only light that's solid is the power light. So I unplug it, plug it back in. Does not connect. There's 4 lights. Light number 1 is power. Light number 2 is connection to their server. Light number 3 is you have internet, and light 4 for us is phone service. Only the first light was lit up. I'm like, all right, that's not good. I tried a couple of times. I'm like, we have no cable. So again, where I live, we can't call. There's no cell service. So I'm like, all right. Sometimes text messages work. So it said, if you're still having a problem, click here to text. So I click and I type in that we still have no internet. I tried rebooting it, didn't work. Somebody will contact you within 24 hours. I will expedite this message. We're so sorry. I said to my wife, 24 hours, that's ridiculous. And I kept thinking it's gonna come back on. It didn't. I waited 2 days. 24 hours later, nothing. 48 hours later, nothing. I'm like, you know what? It's gotta be our box. I take the box, I unplug it. I go down to our basement where the cable wire comes into our house. And I plug it in and I connect that cable wire directly to the box. I figured it's cutting out the house at this point. So if it works, which it should, I figured if it doesn't work, it's something outside the house. If it works, it's something inside the house. So I plug it in, I hook it up, same thing as it was upstairs. It does not connect. I'm like, okay, it's gotta be outside my house then. So now I call back the cable company again. It's 2 days later. And now I call rather than texting them. And I tell them the story. They said, oh yes, we have a note here that it's not working. We've expedited your issue, and the managers are aware of it, and blah, 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 and somebody should call you. I said, well, somebody should have called me within the first 24 hours. Nobody did. We'll make sure, sir, it's definitely foreign agents you're dealing with. We'll make sure it's taken care of. We're so sorry. Do you want to buy a different service or a better service? I'm like, no. I just want my cable back because I have nothing. My wife, who works from home, had to go into the office. I had to bring my dog with me to work. It was a nightmare. My kids, no video games, not good. Day 3, nobody calls, no nothing. So I call, I drive out to a place where the phone works and I call and I get somebody, it sounds like he's in Texas, Southern accent. I'm so sorry. He seemed the first normal person that I spoke to. I'm so sorry, that's unreasonable. It's been 3 days. Let me see what I can do. 5 minutes on hold. Okay, I have Maria here. Thank you for being an Optimum customer. So now I get the same thing. I get passed off to somebody else. I tell her the story. I said, this is unreasonable. She said, well, you have an appointment set up. I said, I do? Nobody told me I had an appointment set up. When was it set up? 2 days ago. I said, when is it set for? The 11th. I said, the 11th? That's Sunday. It's Tuesday now. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's 5 days from now. I can't wait 5 days. We have no phone. It's one thing if you live in an area where your cell phone can connect to the internet. You just, you tether it to your computer. But we have no cell service. Like, we're isolated. I really thought about getting Starlink, even temporarily, but it's an expensive thing to get on a short-term basis. But that's really the only choice I have, either Starlink or Optimum. That is it. No other cable provider where I am. So I said, somebody was scheduled to come out on Sunday. Is there anything sooner? I have to cancel that appointment if I look for a new one. I said, you can't look for an appointment without canceling what I have? No, but I'm telling you, there's nothing sooner. It's a special crew that has to come out. I said, why does a special crew have to come out? If I was getting new service, I'm sure they'd be out in less than 5 days from now. There's a signal leak in your line. I said, what is that? She says, it's something's with the lines. They have to find it. I said, okay. After really insisting, and I was getting nowhere, I said, okay. Well, anyway, I brought the box downstairs. Upstairs, I tried calling at least 2-3 more times to see if there's anything sooner. And one of the dum-dums almost canceled my appointment. Like on Thursday, I'm like, no, do not cancel it. Why can't you look to see if there's anything sooner? We can't. Anyway, cut to the chase. Sunday, the guy shows up, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And he comes in, nice guy. But again, he didn't really explain. I had to pull out, like pulling teeth. I had to try to figure out what was going on, and I figured it out. Here's what happens. He comes upstairs. He goes upstairs to where my modem is. Same thing, one flashing light. He hooks up his little monitor to it with the waves, sine waves, whatever. He says, where does this line come from? I said, well, 12 years ago, I split the line in the attic, and it goes from other bedrooms up to the attic and down to here. He says, all right, show me. I said, you want to go to the attic? Yes. So I get a flashlight, I go up to the attic, and I look and see where it's coming from. I said, all right, it's somewhere around here. And I see it. And I go to pick up the split thing, and it comes apart. And obviously, they're screwed in. It shouldn't come apart so easily. I said, well, that's not good. He said, no, maybe that's the problem. I said, okay. I said, I haven't been up here for 15 years. Why would this decide to just go bad out of nothing? He shrugs his shoulders, takes his machine, he hooks it up, he looks. He says, I think this is it. Anyway, he goes back down to his truck. He comes up with a crimping tool, and he cuts the wire. He recrimps it. He puts a new splitter on. He goes back to where the modem is, and it's still not working. Was still one light on. He goes outside. I said, I don't understand how this works. I said, you just fixed it, and it's not working. And he still didn't explain it to me. And then he went outside. He was outside for 20 minutes. And he said, okay, I think now it should work. I said, I don't understand this. I said, I went to my basement, and I got the wire before it even comes into the house, and I hooked the box up to it. You didn't switch the boxes out. You just reconnected something, and now it's working. And here is what I pulled out of him. There are multiple cable customers on one node or one main. Outside of our house, our lines go underground. There's a box, let's call it. Let's say 10 of our neighbors and I share that one box. He said, when there's a signal leakage coming from one of the houses, it would mess up the service to the other 15 on that node. So the cable company shuts your service off or sandboxes your unit so that it doesn't work anymore, so it doesn't affect everybody else. And then we have to come out and we have to trace and find out where the issue is, and then we could turn it back on. I said, so you mean to tell me that the cable company turned off my service and that's why it wasn't working? He said, yes. Somewhere, I don't know when somebody detected a leakage, and I don't know how. I don't know if they do it remotely. I don't know if they were driving by it. I don't know if they were servicing my neighbor's cable and they saw mine had a leakage, but they turned my cable off and didn't tell me. It would have been nice if one of those people on the phone in the first week explained that to me, and that's why I'm making this video. So if your cable's out and they tell you that there's a signal leakage, they have turned your cable off. I'm pretty rural here, not that rural, but we're spread out enough so that I didn't know there was more than just us on our little box here. Even if there's 2 or 3 other people, that would be a lot. But they shut our service down, and he had to go outside. And I don't know if he called the company, but he was out there for a while. He did something outside that made my service then work again, because he didn't have to swap the box. He didn't have to do anything. And really, the connection was still intact up in my attic. It might have been leaking a little bit. It might have not been a great connection, but it was together. So that's the story. Your cable system, or at least Optimum, will definitely shut your service off if they detect that there is a signal leakage. And you have to have somebody come out, and they're gonna go through your house and find where everything's split and fix whatever the issue is before they turn it back on. So thanks for watching. I just wanted to mention that because it was really no place, okay? And have a good day. I'm sorry about the talking head video, but if you're in this situation where your cable is off and it's been a lot of days and you're pissed off, this is why.